Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. From the feelers we are getting right now, the presidency is not comfortable with what is going on behind the scene. Nigerians have decided to gather up, mop up, strategy to see how they can move against him. But this time around, not waiting till 2027, they are moving against him as at now. Top prominent Nigerians are making moves, and this is what it's got to say. Before we go to newspaper to find out what is brewing and most Nigerians don't know, we'd like you to subscribe to our channel. Now, according to the news, President Bola Tinubu has actually urged the Federal High Court in Abuja to dismiss a suit seeking to compel the National Assembly to initiate impeachment processes and proceedings against him over alleged human rights violations. Now, the suit is marked FHC/ABJ/CS/1334/2024, was actually filed by a legal practitioner, Mr. Olukoya Ogungbaje, who claims that the Tinubu-led administration has engaged in the suppression of peaceful protest organized by Nigerian citizens. Now, the plaintiff argues that such actions constitute an impeachable offence under the law. Now, the suit lists the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, SAN, as the second defendant. Ogungbaje is seeking 6 principal reliefs from the court, including a declaration that the alleged suppression of citizens' right to protest amounts to a violation of democratic process. Hence, he is also asking the court to compel the National Assembly to begin impeachment proceedings against the President Bola Tinubu, arguing that his administration's actions undermine constitutional rights. In response, the defendant, led by a team of lawyers headed by Mr. Sanusi Musa, a senior advocate of Nigeria, SAN, have asked the court to dismiss that suit for lacking merit. They contended that the legal action is incompetent and does not disclose any reasonable cause for the court to intervene. Now, furthermore, they argued that the plaintiff has failed to establish a direct legal grievance that warrants judicial discretion in his favor. Now, according to them, the claims presented do not meet the required threshold for the court to grant the requested reliefs. Now, beyond questioning the validity of the suit, President Tinubu and Attorney General have also challenged the court's jurisdiction to hear the matter. They argue that issues relating to impeachment fall within the exclusive purview of the National Assembly, and as such, the judiciary has no authority to interfere. This legal stance aligns with the previous court rulings that have upheld the principle of separation of powers between the executive, the legislative, and the judicial arms of government. Now, the case is expected to generate significant legal and political interest as it touches on fundamental issues of constitutional governance and civil liberties. Now, while they could not or has not yet set a date for its ruling on the preliminary objections, legal experts say that the outcome could have implications for how similar cases are handled in the future. Meanwhile, the President Tinubu's administration continues to face criticism from various quarters regarding its handling of protests and civil rights in the country. Now, aside from praying the court to dismiss the suit for being incompetent, the defendant has insisted that the action failed to disclose any reasonable cause of action to warrant an exercise of judicial discretion in his favor. Now, in the process, they filed through a team of lawyers led by Mr. Sanusi Musa, a senior advocate of Nigeria, SAN, President Tinubu and AGF further challenged the jurisdiction of the court to hear the matter. My colleague is in the house. Now, it's very interesting and very striking indeed for them to have realized that we have three arms of governance and each should face the arm, saying that this is a legislative matter only on the purview of National Assembly to handle. They shouldn't have brought it to the judiciary. Anything that has to do with impeachment is exclusive right of the legislatures. What's your take on all of this?
Well, I think that the president wasn't expecting this to come up, and it shows how afraid he is, despite the fact that the entirety of the National Assembly are constituted, or let me say, have his APC members as majority, but then he's still a little bit scared. When I read about it, I was wondering, why should our president be scared over this? I think it's important that these guys should understand that democracy is more about the people, and anytime you take up certain or make up certain decisions or policies that are unfavorable to the people, or you decide to make a move which underestimates the liberty and the freedom of the people, then you must be ready to face the consequences. What is going on right now for me points to one direction, that he is not above the law, but then trying to be instructive towards the court is one thing. I'm wondering why it should be like that. Instead, I was expecting the Attorney General of the Federation to come up with reasonable provisions in the Constitution to fix this. Trying to say that one cannot awaken the National Assembly to it. For me, it's shocking. This guy is trying to draw the attention of the National Assembly to it, that this man has goofed, and as much as he has committed impeachable offence, he should be impeached.
But what AGF is saying is that this thing he's calling impeachable offence has not gotten to the threshold where they will now consider it an impeachable offence, that he did not mention a typical case study.
Let him allow the National Assembly to make the request from the young man. Send in, why did you say the president has committed impeachable offence? Can we see example? He shouldn't try to shut the court up and try to squash that document.
To start with, which judge would rule a matter that will impeach a ruling government?
That is only applicable in African democracy. In democracy as a system of government, that is allowed. It's for the president to come and defend himself. It's for the president to say, this is why I did this, I did it. Don't forget that with elections, you are being employed to work for the people. The people found you worthy. It's not imposition. It's not autocracy. The people employ you. In elections, you are being employed, given the opportunity. The people said, okay, we're handing over our country to you, run it. So we are the best judge for you. If you do anything which is totally against the provision of the Constitution, you should be brought to book. No president is above the law. So I think that's exactly what the young man was trying to establish here.
Well, if you ask me, this is just me personally, I feel that this will not hold water. To start with, the National Assembly is totally with Bola Tinubu, exactly. APC rather, not PDP. They're totally with APC, and they are with Bola Tinubu all the way. Even the Senate President, Goswell Akpabio, is wearing the insignia cap of Bola Tinubu sometimes when he goes for plenary. So it clearly shows you that for Bola Tinubu to be impeached, he needs to be impeached first. So it can't just happen. Then the second part, the fact that one of the ministers, whom somebody calls the judicial golden boy, that's the person of Nyesom Wike, is within Abuja. So even if the case will be heard, that's not a problem. They will fix whatever. The whole thing will be heard and it will just be squashed. It's about to be squashed anyway. But it clearly shows that from what we are hearing, it clearly shows that the people are watching, and those who understand Nigerian constitution are closely monitoring how this government is leading.
Yeah.
That's what